If it's cold outside or you just need a hug, make an apple crumble. That'll make you feel better. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm Dad in the kitchen. I have my oven preheating to 180 degrees and I have my ingredients weighed out. Let's make apple crumble. We'll make up 2 recipes, apples and the crumble topping. For the apple mixture you need 450 grams of apples, 30 grams of plain flour, 2 grams of cinnamon, and 50 grams of light brown sugar, and the juice from the apples when you soften them. For the crumble topping you'll need 300 grams of plain flour, 200 grams of unsalted butter, 175 grams of sugar, and 1/8 of a teaspoon each of salt and nutmeg. Start off with the apples, peel and core them, and then cut them into small pieces, even sized pieces, and we'll put them onto the stove to soften them. So don't cut them too small or they'll just turn into mush. We actually want them to hold their shape. I used pink lady apples because they're what I had available in the fruit bowl. Add 50 grams of water, put on the heat, stir them around, get them all soft. In between, when you're not stirring them, put the lid back on so you build up the steam to help the softening process. This took about 10 minutes. Once the apple's done, we'll start putting it together. Put in the light brown sugar, the flour, and the cinnamon. We'll give that a whisk around just to combine all the ingredients. And the little lumps of light brown sugar doesn't matter because they'll stick to the apples and get incorporated that way. Pop in the apples, grab a spatula, and then we'll toss the sugar recipe over the apples to evenly coat them. Just want to make sure that you've got all the sugar recipe off the bottom of the bowl, and then we'll transfer the apples to a pie dish. If you don't have a pie dish, use a small casserole bowl or any other container that's oven proof that will hold the apples and the crumble mixture. Then add in the juice that was left over from softening the apples. That'll create a little bit of steam when you're cooking them off, and it'll finish them off just nice and soft. Using the same bowl, let's not make dishes. Put in the flour, light brown sugar, then we'll put in the salt and the nutmeg, and then we'll mix that around to get all the ingredients incorporated. As you can see, there's great big huge lumps of light brown sugar. So let's get our fingers in there and we'll break everything down into a nice even consistency and have a nice even distribution of ingredients. Add in the butter, coat all over, and then I had it pre-cut into smaller pieces. Do the same thing with the smaller pieces so it all doesn't stick to your hands, and then pinch the flour and the butter between the ends of your fingers and just keep going till it's all even consistency and it looks like wet beach sand. You could do this in a food processor or with a pastry cutter or even a couple of knives. The choice is yours. And once you've got a nice even consistency, give it a test by getting a handful, squeezing it together. Should hold a shape, but with a light touch it'll crumble apart. Then you know you're right to go. So place all the crumble mixture on top of the apples, and if you're thinking to yourself that's a lot of crumble mixture, that's right, it is. It's buttery goodness to sit on top of that cinnamony, sugary apple goodness underneath. This is comfort food, it's not diet food. Make sure that you don't compact the crumble topping, because when it bakes, if you do, it'll set like concrete and that's not what you want. And this will go into a preheated 180 degree oven for 50 to 60 minutes. And this particular apple crumble took the full 60 minutes. And then to check to see if it's done, you just lift up a piece of the crumble mixture, make sure that it's cooked underneath and not all raw. And it's absolutely piping hot in there, so let it sit for about 20 minutes. Then serve it, and you can have it however you like to have it, with ice cream, whipped cream, or whatever it is that you like. So if you like the recipe, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share with friends. Thanks for watching. I'm Dan, I'm Dad in the Kitchen, and we'll see you next week.